Right, just the same as the other ones. So give your name, your what the project is you're doing, and then I'll ask you a bunch of questions. Okay, so fire away.
My name is James Ryan, and my project is a short film.
Okay. What's it about?
It's about a basically person also in tech who's like struggling to make a final project, and they're just trying to find ways to find influence and inspiration.
Okay. You just last week there, last Friday, you presented a first draft there to the class. How did that go?
I think it went very well.
Okay, good. Did you get any feedback?
Mostly positive, yeah, because there was part of the scenes that were very lengthy and should have been spliced out of it.
Okay, so is that what you're at the minute? Is just editing those down?
And adding credits.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the two things you got in your feedback, and you're just actioning them now. Yeah. Okay. So overall, how did the project go?
I think it went positive, basically. I think, sorry, I think I'm like happy with the final product that I'm going to make soon, and my draft I'm pretty positive with as well.
Okay. Let's see. If you were doing it again, what if anything would you change?
I'd probably change my ambition because I made way too many recorded way too many shots, and that's sort of wasting my time in a way. Because like if I added those shots, the short film would have been way too long.
Okay. And were those shots? I know you had a shot list and a storyboard. Were those shots originally in that?
Most, like over half of them, I'd say probably 2/3 of them are in the thing, and probably the other third is like slight deviations. So I think I followed the shot list like as it should be.
Okay, so if you were doing it again, you'd probably do more editing at the shot list stage?
Yeah.
Okay. I know as well you did several test versions where you practice shooting there just in college here,
Yeah.
sort of doing sort of a video storyboard. How did you find that helpful?
Yeah, it helped a lot because sort of helped me like understand like is this like a good place to record and like where to set up the camera for the shot list.
Okay. How did you find the sound was for your finished film?
I think the sound was overall great. Only one shot I'd say had not really the greatest audio, but that's because it was very far from it and it was outside.
Okay. I know you experimented with several different ways to collect sound. What were those, and what sort of problems did you encounter there?
I used a radio microphone, which I dislike those because like our phones, even if they weren't on, they interfere with the radio waves, so that it would like the audio would come out funky and it would have like a bunch of like artifacts.
Yeah, there was the static from the phones interfering with the radio mics.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think you were using shotgun mics as well at one point?
I was using the boom mics as well.
Yeah.
The boom mics, I don't know if it was like the cameras I used or it was just the boom mics themselves, but like they just did not work. Like they just all, I think they were all broken. No.
Okay. And I think then eventually you used the little sort of camera top mics?
Yeah, we used them since that was the most effective.
Yeah. So through a process of experimentation you found that those were the most effective?
Yeah.
Okay. And you also learned that if you're going to use radio mics, everyone has to turn their phones off?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you learned that the hard way by doing... Yeah, okay. Right, you had a schedule at the beginning. When you did your proposal, you had a schedule all worked out. Did you stick to that?
Mostly, yeah.
Okay. I think you because of the difficulty you had with sound, you fell a wee bit behind. But you've managed to get the film finished on time, so how did you catch back up?
I kind of had to like make way on my schedule, like personal schedule as well.
Okay, so you just adapted to try and to make sure you hit your deadline?
Yeah.
Okay. What new skills did you learn?
I'd say like filming and a camera angle skills, since I sort of more understand how to use them properly now.
Yeah, because I noticed that the camera angles on this were a big improvement on your initial film. Not just the trial versions you did, but your the film you made where you recreated a scene in your workshop,
Yeah.
I noticed they were a lot more confident. The camera angles, there was nicer blocking for the actors and everything.
Yeah.
So how did you find? I know you also acted in it as well, but you also had actors as well. How did you find directing people?
It's mostly easy because I was sort of like one of the only like more recurring character. Those guys were like the other actors were sort of like one-offs for like certain scenes.
Okay. And how did you find sort of, because you were acting, you had to sort of direct the camera people. How did you find giving them instructions while also concentrating on performing?
It was pretty easy actually. It wasn't too difficult. They actually kind of understood well.
Okay. Did you find, having done, as I said, a video storyboard where you'd filmed the whole thing out here, did you find that useful to show the camera people what you wanted? Were you working with the same camera people the whole time?
Yeah, like the storyboards kind of didn't help because like storyboard was like a bit too simple because like I just made the storyboard as like sort of the framework in a way, and I didn't really use it for like just to know what the scene is gonna be. It's gonna be like how the scene is gonna go.
Okay, so it was useful to do trial versions of the film ahead of time with the camera people so that they knew what to do?
Yeah.
Okay. What new technology, software and softwares did you use?
Adobe Premiere Pro, I was very unfamiliar with it.
Okay. You seem to be fairly confident with it now. You're working away in it, yeah? Okay. Let's see. Technologies. You sort of went through. Did you basically went through every piece of sound recording equipment we have in the stores there?
Yeah.
So you know a fair bit about them now, and you know also what not to do with the radio mics.
Yeah.
So would you say you're fairly confident with the sound equipment at this point?
Yeah, mostly confident.
Okay. How did you find the cameras?
The cameras were alright, but like one problem I had with them was just like battery life. Sometimes the batteries would last ages, and some of them would be full battery but last like 5 seconds.
Right. So yeah, because I think there's different makes of batteries there, so you weren't always getting the same length, even though it said it was fully charged. Okay, but I think you had gotten a charger and extra batteries from us, yeah?
Yeah.
Because you had learned from that on your first couple of run-throughs?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Anything else you want to say?
Not really.
Okay, thanks, that's good.